Hi, my name is Cheyenne Merkser, and today I picked the prompt political parties to talk about. I picked this prompt just because of how enormous this topic is in today's world and how, unfortunately, how driven our world is between these two political parties. And I love learning more and more and being more educated on this topic. As I was saying, these two political parties have driven people far apart and have split up friends and families and relationships, and it's very unfortunate to see, but it is just such a competitive system that we have in today's time, and it just has brought us to where we are. And those two political parties would be the Democratic and Republican Party. And it's honestly unfortunate to see how divided it has gotten when, and realistically, the two are not so different in the aspect of why we call it a Democratic and Republican Party. The difference between the two would be that the Republican Party is more self-driven and is more run through the president, and the president makes more of the decisions, and the Democratic Party is more ran through the government, and the government has more of a role in the opinions that would go towards what decisions we make as a nation. With that being said, more of the reasons would be the Democratic Party is advocate for limited government, lower taxes, free market capitalism, and conservative social views. And the Democratic Party favors a stronger government role in a system and social programs and environmental regulation and progressive social views. There's so much division between the two in our world right now, and it's sad to see. And also some terminology that was used more back in the day, not so much now, I would say about 10 years ago, is ideology and partisanship. Ideology is a set of beliefs or principles about politics, government, for example, beliefs about taxes, social programs, abortions, and generational. Partisanship is loyalty within that political party. Like I was saying, these terms were more used usually like I would say 10 years ago, around there. Now the terminology we use in present time is more conservative and liberal. That's what we use. So I honestly had to look up and exactly know what these terms meant, so I didn't butcher any of the meaning. I had to look up to make sure that was the right that was the right terms I was using them, because I thought they had the same meaning, but we just use conservative and liberal in today's world, in today's time. With that being said, regardless of whether you agree with every position that party takes, this conception is more used in the past and than present time. The structural reason why the U.S. has two dominant parties is because from the history.com it states a winner-takes-all system has driven American politics towards a two-party system. In the early 1800s, our very first few presidents were actually worried about having a two-party system because they were worried it was going to create conflict and division and causes hatred between each other. Little did they know, way over 100 years later, it was just going to progressively get worse and worse, because it has driven people to cause so much hate in this world, and it's very unfortunate to see. But we just have come to clarity with a winner-on-winner mentality, and this is because when a Democratic Party wins or a Republican Party wins, the other party doesn't really have a say in what roles our nation takes. It's more of whichever party and that president that wins, they go, and it's the loser loses and the winner wins, and the loser can't really say anything or have a say in what they do in that term. And if we like what that Republican Party or Democratic Party do in that term, we vote for the next term. And if we don't like it, then we can vote for the other party to see if that may work. And with going back to what I was saying, the Republican Party, if we like it, having the president make more of the decisions, or if we want to change it and have the government make more of the decisions. And that just comes with the two dominant parties, and it has caused, it is a competitive system that is ran, and that's just the way that our country is ran with those two parties. Also with the two parties, we have a financial support and media coverage and more, but I'd say these the most popular are the ballot access and the fundraising and financial support, and then the media coverage. Those are the most popular, the ones that we really know about. For ballot support, for ballot access, you're able to go to any social environment. Really, you can go to a library, a school, anywhere, usually around your town, or you can even look it up, and you can go and vote on a ballot, or even nowadays you can get a mailed ballot to your house and you can mail it back in, whatever you're more comfortable with. And with fundraising and all of that access with each political party, the Democratic and Republican parties have campaigns and established donor networks. They have national party funding structures, and each one, I'm sure now with how easy technology is and everything's at your fingertips, that each party has a social media team. And with my generation and younger generations, with how much we are on social media and our phones can pick up any algorithm, and each of these political parties, their teams will post things to get the word out and get attention, and that's all they need is attention. They need hearsay, they need anything like that to get the word out on what they want to do in their term, so they get more votes and more attention, and then that's what it's pretty much all about. And the word gets spread, and then it goes from there, and then it's back onto the competitive winner takes all type mentality. To be very honest, I really wasn't up to date or educated on a lot of any of the third parties. I had to really look up and see which of the third parties spoke out to the most, or educate myself on which ones that stuck out to me and really I thought made a big impact. And I would say that after doing my research, the two national level third parties since the Civil War are the Populist Party and the Green Party. The Populist Party is also known as the People Party. It was very active more many years ago, I would say, but this party is a direct election of senators, income tax, and inflammatory monetary policy to help farmers. They won several governorships and congressional seats. They more so cared about the overprocessing and helping that to make sure the farmers kept their land and everything of that aspect. They were very successful in what they were trying to accomplish. And the Green Party's main points for our environmental protection were our anti-corporate influence in politics and universal health care. This party was very successful and has been influenced on debates on climate and corporate power. This more cared about our sustainability in our nation, and making sure to keep an eye on the climate change and everything like that, and to make sure we're not releasing more fossil fuels than we had to, and just protecting our earth and our Earth's health, and making sure that we are doing all the right things to protect that as well. I would say for overall, the main points from this would be ideology is a belief system, and the partisanship is a party loyalty, and those terms are older, you could say, and the terms that we use is conservative and liberal. The two parties dominant. The two parties are so dominant because we have a winner takes all mentality, and that is why we get so competitive and so driven, and it has led to a lot of controversy and hatred, unfortunately, in today's world, but that's just the world that we live in. And candidates choose major parties for automatic ballot access and fundraising advantages. Third parties, the third parties in Civil War that stuck out to me the most are the populist party, influence income tax and direct election of senators, and the next one is the Green Party, which cares more about our environmental health. Thank you so much for listening. I appreciate the opportunity to educate myself more and learn more about the political parties. Thank you so much.